The redesigned Hyundai Sonata Nline is the last of Hyundai's family sporty sedans, and starting at $35,000, what do you get for your money? The first thing you'll get is its new revamped design, which is very similar to the previous model in a lot of ways. The front end looks quite different, but its body lines through the side are pretty much the same. This is in its new ultimate red color. And even though those are pretty much the same, there's still quite a lot of differences here. The hood, obviously, is different. You've got this LED strip here as a daytime running light. Your headlights are just below that, along with your turn signals and fog lights. The grille, much different than the previous year, and actually pretty different than what Hyundai's been doing recently. I mean, quite a lot of their cars to look very similar to this one. You do have functional vents here for your brakes that go to the new rim, specifically for the Nline Sonata. And then down this way, you've got chrome trim on the bottom, which kind of accents the color in my opinion. I don't know how well that'll look in other colors, but in this red, it looks pretty darn good. Back here, you can see that nothing's changed at all. Just kidding. Obviously, it's very different than it used to be. You've got your rear reverse lights and turn signals here, which are kind of pixel-esque. I mean, Matt told me earlier they seem very retro. I'm inclined to agree with him. The taillights also look very similar to the new Elantra, where they come down as an LED light strip and have a little line there on the end, which I think looks pretty good too. Quad exhaust tips here, which means that they did away with their HDMI looking exhaust, which I'm all for it. I think this looks way better than it used to, in my opinion. So improvements all around. And the updates don't stop there. So why don't we go inside? All right, so let's take a look at what's new in here. Quite a lot, actually. Right up in center, you've got the new infotainment and digital gauge cluster, which is all one unit. Very similar to the Ioniq 5, except in the older Ioniq 5, it was all white, kind of like a Google Home. We weren't really fans of that. But the new infotainment system here, I've got to say, is a lot better than the old one. I think it's much more intuitive. It's got wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It's just nicer to use. It feels more upscale, like you're in a luxury car. Down here, you've got dual zone climate along with your heated settings, which would be visible if the car was running, and a wireless charger along with dual USB-C ports. That's very nice to see. The seats are new and refreshed, still very similar to the old Nline seats, but just a tad bit nicer. They're cushioned, they have a nice support on the side, so if you're whipping it around like you do a sporty sedan, you won't be flying everywhere. New steering wheel as well, which is nice, and it's got the edges here to grip onto properly when steering like a maniac. And a new shifter here, which was first seen in the Hyundai and Kia EVs, but looks like it's transferring now to most of the cars. Matt wanted me to mention that these 4 dots here actually stand for H in Morse code, which obviously would represent Hyundai. And you've got ambient lighting. You've also got other niceties, heated ventilated seats, panoramic sunroof, plenty of space in the back, and honestly, the old Sonata interior to me, as much as the people that I know that like them, I thought felt a bit camp. This doesn't feel like that. This feels nice and spacious. The ambient lighting definitely helps in that aspect. And the nice addition of Bose audio in the Nline means that you'll be bumping to your favorite tunes wherever you go. Oh, the back seats, where the magic happens. There's plenty of room back here for any type of activity you could imagine. The seats are equally as comfortable back here as they were up front. The panoramic sunroof is definitely a nice addition. I am a big fan of panoramic sunroofs. Ambient lighting even continues back here, so your back passengers have some nice ambient mood. Speakers back here behind the headrest means that the Bose sound system is going to encapsulate you in your music, which is great to hear. And the acoustics are pretty good too. Back here, you've also got dual USB-C ports, which made me realize something. In this car, I don't think I see a single USB-A port, which is standard USB for those who don't know. Which makes me think, like, we're definitely moving towards the future. This has been an AutoLab first look of the brand new Hyundai Sonata, and we are at the New York International Auto Show, which means we've got our hands on quite a few vehicles. So make sure to subscribe because that's next.